Hey, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy Hodges, advocate for OCD, in particular pure OCD, which just happens to be the name of my memoir. Check it out at amazon.com or booklocker.com. I'm also a certified peer support specialist working around the world to support individuals working toward recovery for OCD. I can also provide referrals for therapists if that's what you're looking for and ready to go to treatment. NoCD is an app in OCD. Inside that app, you can find resources, meet other people who live with OCD, and they also do telehealth. So check them out at treatmyocd.com. Today I wanted to talk about a really important topic that you don't hear a lot about, but I hear a lot about it from clients all over, and it's something that I think it was worth doing a video on. So if you're experiencing this, you know that you're not alone. So today I want to talk about pornography and how that can influence and how that can come back and kind of haunt you with intrusive thoughts. So let me just get into that. So first of all, your feelings about pornography. I'm not interested. I mean, I'm really not. So please don't get in the comments and say it's good or bad or whatever, or it's sinful or all that shit. Like, this is not about what you think about it. It's not about what I think about it. It really just is about the lived experience of people who have been exposed to pornography, whether they wanted to or not, whether that's something that they engage in. You know, we don't need to know your opinion about that. So just wanted to give that disclaimer before I get into the video. If you put stuff in the comments, I'm just going to delete it. So just don't waste your time. Now, and this, a lot of times this can go in any direction, right? So intrusive thoughts aren't necessarily caused by things. There's not a lot of research around this, but I'm just quoting what I know about them right now. Okay, so we don't look for a cause of intrusive thoughts. But what can happen is when we do get intrusive thoughts, then we can mentally review things that may have influenced them or things that may get into our head about whether they are proving something or not proving something. Maybe your intrusive thoughts were influenced about something that's happened, and porn can be a huge influencer. Okay, again, I am not saying porn is good or it's bad. This is a neutral video. Lots of people watch porn. I watch porn. Lots of people. So, I mean, we're not sitting over here saying you shouldn't watch porn because that causes OCD. Hear me in a clear manner. I am not saying watching porn causes OCD, and it doesn't. I mean, I'm just talking about more on how porn that you have watched, just like any other experience in your life, you may mentally review and go, oh no, that might prove or disprove. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm talking about. Okay, so a lot of times, and this can happen immediately while you're watching porn, or it can happen right after, but a lot of times it can also happen years later when you develop intrusive thoughts. Let's just go with pedophilia theme, okay? Because I hear this a lot when it comes to porn. So you watch porn, and then there may have been a young person. It looks like a young person. Sometimes they have people in porn that just look younger. We do know, this is reassurance, but we do know websites like Pornhub, places like that, you know, they don't put people in the porn videos that are under 18. But your OCD may start to warp things into they had to be younger than 18 or they look younger than 18. So what does that mean? So when it comes to things like POCD, you may even right after watching porn or during porn while you're masturbating, you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, did I just have an orgasm to that young person? What does that say about me? Or later down the line, when years later, let's say you develop POCD and then you're looking for proof in your mind. This is called mental review, okay? So this is a compulsion. You're looking for proof. All of a sudden, boom, this porn video pops up in your head and you remember and you think, oh no, the person that was in that was so young. So what does that mean about me? And then you might think, I've got to find that video. I don't know where it is, but I got to find it and make sure they're not. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to know if you see that video or not, whether they are, because your brain is already on fire going, it is, and that must mean you're a pedophile. But this is what happens, okay? So you will mental review things that you're looking can prove or disprove the intrusive thoughts that you have. This is just normal, everyday, compulsive behavior. But when it has to do with porn, man, that guilt and shame can come down on you like you would not believe. It's that extra heavy burden. Not only, okay, I mean, let's just say, like, porn is when we talk about pornography, it's so taboo. People like to take the stance of porn is wrong and porn is bad and you're a bad person if you watch it. But, it's a $10 billion industry, people, in America alone. Like, everybody's watching it. Not everybody, but lots of people watch it. But admitting to that, or, having people know that you watch that, can feel really shameful, because it is something that people keep kind of secret. Porn addiction, or perceived addiction to pornography. Perceived addiction to pornography is basically the guilt and shame about watching pornography can make you think that it is an addiction, and when it's really not. But either way, both of those things are real, and both of those things can cause shame and guilt. So just throw that on top of OCD, and man, you've just got a dumpster fire that just feels like it's burning you down. My point in this video is to let you know how common this is, that you are going to mentally review your actions in watching pornography, and the porn that you have watched can absolutely contribute to the fears of whether or not the intrusive thoughts are real. I mean, y'all, you can watch genres and we can go any genre whatsoever. One of the most popular types of porn is incest porn, and so if you have, it's like the most watched, which I've never watched it. Anyway, let's just say it is one of the most popular. But if you get incest intrusive thoughts, which is a taboo intrusive thought that is so common, all of a sudden you're gonna be mentally reviewing. Remember that time I watched incest porn? What does that mean? That must have been proof back then that I wanted these intrusive thoughts, and then maybe the intrusive thoughts are true, right? So the same goes for if I'm watching gay porn or lesbian porn. These are just common genres that people watch. And if you get sexual orientation OCD a little bit later, or all of a sudden it pops up because of the video, right? So then you're going to mentally review that porn is somehow proof. You may even accidentally pop on a video. You know how it is. You get on Pornhub and all of a sudden all this shit's popping up and you just see everything and anything. And then there's like the live video going on here and you're like, turn it off. So, you may see something that is just even triggering to you that you didn't mean to see, and you close it and you just think, oh no, now I saw that. What does that mean? Or, God bless, like you get like the groinal, right? You're looking, I have said this many times in a video. When shit's getting inserted in a hole, it is just, sometimes your natural thing is just to feel aroused. So if you're looking at hole insertion and you're aroused, or you're just having that natural response, like it's very confusing when you're using porn as a compulsion. So there we go. That's the next thing. Porn as a compulsion. Oh man, this is way more common than you think. And then double down on that, the shame and the guilt that you used porn as a compulsion, or that you were just watching it in general. So if you're, let's say, incest porn or sexual orientation porn, especially, I hear this a lot. People will go and watch lesbian or gay porn or orgies or things like that, and they are watching it to test. I'm watching it to test to see if I like it, to test to see if I'm going to be aroused. You're watching an orgy, like it's more likely that you are going to get aroused than not if all that sex is going on all over the place. Unless orgies just aren't your thing, but or you just are repulsed by it. But here's what I do know. When we are monitoring our bodies for arousal, this is just like the groinal, right? If I'm sitting here watching a specific kind of porn and being like, I need to know if I'm getting aroused. And I'm like looking down and thinking, okay, is it moving? Of course it's gonna move. This is just how it works. The more emphasis you place on the vag, the more emphasis, the more likely is something's gonna happen down there. It's the same for dudes, right? And it can happen in different places for men too. In the front, in the back. It can happen for women too. In the back, and at the top, everything. In the mouth, so it's really important to understand that if you are using pornography as a compulsion, which is really common, this is the kind of stuff that is super going to backfire on you. And it's going to become it's not going to be helpful, because then even afterwards, if you think, okay, I watched that porn, I did not feel aroused, so that must mean that the intrusive thoughts aren't real. Then your brain's going to go to, well, why would you watch it in the first place? Did you want to watch it? And are you sure you weren't aroused? So it could just go all over the place. I would just highly suggest, not using pornography as a compulsion. So let's back it on up before I get finished with this video. Again, I want you to know that you are not alone. If you are experiencing compulsions regarding mentally reviewing the type of porn you've watched, people that are in the porn that you've watched, the different genres. If you watched pornography that is emphasizing whatever your theme is, and you do a lot of mental review for that, and then you're feeling shame and guilt anyway that you watched it in the first place, you can't remember, like, did I orgasm to this? Did I orgasm to that? Why did I think I was orgasming to this? And then this popped in my head, blah, 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 blah. This is so common. I know that you think it's not, because you just don't hear people talking about it. You hear a lot of people on YouTube getting on talking about masturbating and porn, but here we are today. And I want you to know that you are not alone in this. And I wish that we would talk about this more. One of the things that also can happen is that you become obsessive about finding specific videos that you may have watched even years ago or months ago or whatever. You're looking for these specific videos to find reassurance that maybe someone is or isn't underage. Or did I really get aroused to this? Or did my orgasm really happen when this happened? So again, what is that? That's using porn as a compulsion. So that's what's happening if you go back, right? And I know. All you want is to know and to find out, whether or not watching that or getting pleasure out of that is causing what happened to you right now, or exacerbating or making you believe that because of that, this must be true. I know that's all you want. I'm here to tell you that you're not going to get that certainty by going back. You're not going to get that certainty by, being compulsive and obsessing about needing to find a specific video, okay? And also, a lot of times people will get compulsive about reporting videos because they are worried that the person is underage and that you watched it, or maybe you just accidentally clicked on it, and so you might report it. So reporting videos can also be compulsive, okay? So I just wanted to do this video. I don't need to go into more detail about it. Again, if you're watching my video and you're like, she didn't mention this, that must mean I don't have OCD. Please don't do that. Just know that I wanted to bring this up because a lot of times clients bring this up to me and they feel shame and guilt about it. And it is one of those things that they say the porn must have been proof. No, it is not. Okay, so there's different layers to this. You can feel the shame and guilt not only for watching the porn, because we're programmed as a society to have that idea around porn, but then you can feel that about the content and how that relates to your intrusive thoughts now or how it has before. So I just want you to know you're not alone. If you want to meet and do a consult, you do not have to feel shame bringing this up to me. I talk to people all the time. This comes up all the time. So with that, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you know that just because you've watched porn or just because you've watched specific genres or content, this does not say anything about you as a person. Okay? You're still worthy. You still deserve love, and you do not need to self-punish. Self-punish meaning like I don't deserve things because of what I've watched or that I've even watched porn in general. Self-punishment is also a compulsion. I'm going to do a video on that on Instagram a little bit later today. I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking for consultation, peer support, or referrals, go to chrissyhodges.com. For an OCD, go to treatmyocd.com. I'll see you next time.